Hans Vestberg is here, Verizon's new CEO, formerly Verizon's Chief Technology Officer. Thank you for being here on this morning. We have about 1 million questions, but you want to start with the 5G news?
Yeah, so what we announced yesterday was our 4th city that we will do residential broadband in with 5G, and that's Indianapolis. We have already announced Los Angeles, Houston, and Sacramento, and we're going to launch that this half year. So it's exciting. We're going to be first in the world.
Here's the fundamental question of 5G, and Joe and Becky and I were talking about this during the commercial break in the 6 o'clock hour, which is, do you believe that 5G is fundamentally long-term going to upend what might be described as the traditional cable business? So I'm thinking of the parent company of this network, Comcast, Charter, effectively everybody. Does the technology of being able to effectively cut the wire upend the business? Or, and I've heard Brian Roberts say this before, you will always need the wire, or at least wires under the ground, that ultimately 5G or any wireless technology are still based on getting as close to the home as possible?
You're still going to have fiber coming close to the technology that we're sending out the radio. But to be honest, when we started to design the 5G, we designed it actually that you're going to have a cordless world. Everything's going to be wireless. Cordless. That was the whole idea with the 5G. And remember, 2G, 3G, and 4G only have speed and throughput as the 2 currencies. When you come to 5G, you have 8 currencies. You have latency, security, battery lifetime. You can slice the network in 8 slices. That is, of course, giving you totally new innovation, how you can disrupt industries, change the way you're thinking about technologies. And I think that that's what people haven't really understood yet, that 5G is so differently designed.
It's not just the classical phone. It's going to be fixed line wireless, which could be like a cable service, effectively without the wire. Yeah. But it's also going to be all of the Internet of Things.
Absolutely. Autonomous cars, things that you haven't thought of can be actually wireless.
So there's no concern about technological walls that could be hit in the development. Like I hear, rain,
people
trees,
say rain, you get
foliage, right. and I don't want to be in an autonomous car when it starts raining and I'm.
Now we're talking about different types of spectrum. So
it's only a matter of time until the technology gets rid of all these bugs. It's not a problem with the technological barrier. It's very small. It's what, millimeters of barrier.
The millimeter wave spectrum very high up. So of course the distance is short, but the throughput is enormous, and that's what we're using for some of these use cases on fixed wireless access.
Can I just ask a stupid question though? Because I've got phones, both Verizon and AT&T cell phones. I've got Verizon Fios. I was telling you in my home. Beforehand.
Thank you.
And I love the constant connection. In my home, my cell phones don't always work. And is this different?
You
I just don't
design the slices differently. So, of course, you're going to get a connectivity that is 100% all the time. And a speed that you have never seen before on wireless. That's what you're going to do. The limitation is going to be that the 5G is coming into the home, and then the Wi-Fi is spreading it in the home. And that's the limitation, basically, because you have 1 gig coming into any house.
Realistically, how quickly is 5G going to emerge as a real technology, not just in a handful of cities, but on a nationwide basis? And this goes to the larger debate, not just about the investment that you're going to make, it's about the investment that AT&T is going to make, it's about whether we ultimately think that regulators will want to approve the Sprint T-Mobile deal, which I want to get to in a minute.
Oh, you're coming to that as well. No, I think that first of all, we are ahead of the game. I mean, Verizon is first in the world. We're actually doing this now commercial launch on their proprietary software on 5G. So the global software on 5G is coming by end of the year, and then you start rolling it out, and then you need devices, chipset for IoT coming out. So you need to be a little bit understanding that it's going to take some time when you have
What does some time mean? Is that a project, or is that a decade?
No. We are building everything right now. I mean, we're going to have mobile phones in the hands of people in next year. That is 5G.
And to cover everybody, there's Barry Knapp. But to cover everyone and to make it where it's usable, how much money for the industry are we talking about? Just an estimate?
Remember where I come from. I come from the manufacturing equipment of technology. Unfortunately, the price is coming down all the time. It's more efficient all the time. It's going to happen the same with
hundreds
5G.
Of billions of dollars. Then,
no, I think it's the same. That's what I mean. Remember the 4G era.
How much does that cost total?
Now, the normal spending that we have today, I'm not guiding what we're going to do next year, but we have seen the last couple of years a very seamless investment in capex. Even though we're investing a lot for 5G right now, you need fiber, you need passive equipment, you need need switches, you need a lot before you come to the radio base station, which is a small piece of the total investment.
Okay, well then let me ask you the big question, which is this Sprint T-Mobile proposed merger. One of the theses around this transaction is that they can effectively catapult the industry into 5G on a nationwide basis in a way that they wouldn't be able to independently, and that they're going to actually be able to put more pressure on you and AT&T to do so as well. Is that accurate or no?
First of all, I cannot comment on an acquisition that somebody else is doing. I'm feeling confident with our assets. We're ahead of the game. We're going to be first in the world with 5G. I think the engineering team of Verizon is fantastic. So,
do you think they have better spectrum?
The spectrum, is just one piece of transporting data. Densification is another. Technology advancement is a third. The combination of the assets we have is very, very well fitted for the 5G.
Do you think that is a transaction that regulators should approve?
Again, I think that you should ask the regulator. I'm not the regulator. So
but I assume you have a team in Washington who have commented or have been asked to comment on this transaction. What is the official position of Verizon?
We're neutral. We let the ones that knows about deciding, we let them decide. I have no opinion about it. We let that go.
You have no opinion about it. Let me ask you a separate question. Strategically, you have chosen what might be described as
digital versus premium.
A path that focuses on being the transmission mechanism, as opposed to one that's transmission plus content. AT&T clearly has moved towards content. Comcast has moved towards content. There's people say, do you want to be the dumb pipe? And by the way, there may be more value to being the dumb pipe. Other people say they want to actually own the content that's on the pipe. How do you think about those two?
First of all, dumb pipe is a very, very bad word because it's such a high technology we're talking about. It's the most high tech you can think about, so I wouldn't go there. But we think that our technology, our network is our asset. And whatever partners we can get them, and we announced yesterday partnering with Apple and with YouTube. I think we have another way to deal with our assets. Our distribution is fantastic. So I think that people will take different strategies. They are not doing wrong. It's just that we believe our assets.
So you wouldn't shop for premium content still. That's the criticism for Verizon is that there's not many left. That now and Fox is going to go.
Does it put you at a competitive disadvantage? Is the fundamental?
No, I think that we will compete with assets we have in the market. We're going to see differentiation between carriers. It's nothing strange.
You envious of AT&T's asset composition?
As I said, I'm very happy with our assets.
Really? So you're not?
I'm saying I'm happy with our assets.
All right, well, that's nice. So you can be different, but
no,
not.
I think that's going to happen. There's so many choices when you go into 5G. So you can play in so many different areas. We have chosen where we're going to be with our great assets, and that's what we're happy for.
What does that mean for Oath?
Oath is definitely a very important piece of it. First of all, fantastic competences of AI, ML that we need in a network. Then on the front end, we have a distribution chain of wireless and wireline, and we have, of course, the whole Oath. And, of course, doing things in between them is important.
So it's not for sale?
No, it's not for sale. I'm not sure where you got that from.
There's been speculation and reporting around whether the company should either do a management buyout, whether others would want. That's something you would not.
It's nothing that I have heard about.
Right.
No,
you haven't heard about.
20% spinoff so that you can have cash or stock to issue to employees at Oath to keep them there.
No. Nothing I heard about, but it's always a lot of rumors.
Separately, when we look back at this period right now, which is people talk about as a golden age for television and content and all of this. Do you think that we're gonna look back and think that the AT&Ts and Comcasts of the world who have bought content have made a mistake by doing that? Meaning 5 years from now, they're going to still own the content, or that they're going to decide actually that these things should be separate? Or do you think that you're going to look around the corner and say, you know what, I wish I might have thought about that? Obviously, you're taking a particular position.
Yeah, of course, we are happy with what we are doing. But think about that. I mean, I studied all carriers in the world for many years. I mean, it's just a moment of the industry where you're going to have different choices. So I don't think that you said somebody is stupid because they made that or that. Everyone is going to bet on their assets, how they can do it best. Verizon is taking the bet and with our assets, which I'm really happy about. So I don't think you're going to look back in 10 years from now. I mean, remember 10 years ago, every carrier looked exactly the same offering. You didn't need a segment, a carrier business. Today, all carriers are doing differently, which is not strange.
You might not
so
need. You don't sound like you need a big acquisition, obviously. But looking at the AT&T deal once again, going back to that, and now the appeal, do you think that there's merit in the appeal for the Department of Justice, or do you think the judge got it right in the first place? Like, do you think AT&T has an unfair advantage in pricing now that they own those assets?
No, I wouldn't go into comment on that. I mean, I have not spent.
You have to be careful because you might want to do something like that.
Yeah, no. I think that there are deals in the market. Merger acquisitions, I mean, it's not for me to have an opinion about that. I'm so focused on Verizon, doing the best for Verizon, take the lead on 5G, bring all our assets out there. That's my job.
You're the Chief Technology Officer. We've got 30 seconds left. Can you explain to me how 5G works just quickly, just exactly? Yeah. No, I mean, I need a detailed do you understand it, Sorkin? Do you understand it?
I think I do, but if you can give a lesson,
the 5G is dramatically different because the speeds are 20 times higher to 50 times higher. The latency is so low, so you can have autonomous cars. The throughputs are so hefty.
Well, I want to know how it works because it's wireless and it's going through the ether. Is it magic?
No, I mean, remember, again, I started 2009 with 5G in my previous
I think
job.
It is magic. I mean, I know that there's a scientific basis for it, but it's amazing.
It's amazing that you can bring out several gigs on a wireless line.
I know.
It's just fantastic.
Before we let you go, just from a management perspective, how do you think you're different than Lowell McAdams?
I'm Swedish. No, of course, I'm different. We have different background, but the great thing is that we have a common vision of what Verizon should go. We have spent a lot of time together the last 14 months, but over 10 years we spent time together. So, of course, I'm different. I mean, I'm trained in a different way. I come from a different environment, but we share the same visions and same ambitions for Verizon.
Okay. We're going to leave the conversation there. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Let's make this a regular thing.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you. Thanks.
You did so well. Savita's our guest host today, but you can come back as a guest host.
Absolutely.
Even I think.
I love to.
Great audition.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, great.